I am one of the co-founders of Victory Christian School, and this came as a result of I was already serving the community as a chairman of a local government school, and the performance was just really not good. And I was wondering, why is it that in a sub-county the children are performing so dismally? So what can we do? So I decided to take this discussion to another level, to talk with the government officials and find out what is it that we are missing. And then the result was that the other sub-counties that were doing very well was as a result of the private schools that were really focusing on excellence. And when we had this discussion already between me and my wife, we were talking about the idea of really doing something that can change the lives of the children, particularly the orphaned child, and just the entire community for the greater good of our nation. Something that is holistic, touching the soul, the spirit, and the body. And we are so excited to be part of this because it is not only changing the lives of the children from this spiritually, physically, and academically, but also intellectually.
We started Victory Christian School on 8th of January 2014, and at that point we started as an ECD center basically, and then we decided to add classes 1, 2, and 3. And after a few months, we did a great job, and the lives of the children that we first brought in were really transformed. Our vision as we started Victory Christian School was to offer holistic education that would help transform the lives of our children and also help break the poverty cycle in our community. So people were impressed with our work, and they brought us many children. Some of the children that they gave us were quite weak. We did not know that anything good would come out of them. But we want to thank God that those children were changed completely and their performance improved, because quite a number were coming from public schools where the population, of course, is very huge, and they are not able to be reached by teachers. So we told our teachers, and we keep telling them every day, that no child is stupid, and our duty is to change the lives of the children that we are given. So we have seen a big change, especially in our last year Kenya Certificate of Primary Education, when some of the children that even the parents never expected would passed very highly, and they were admitted to very good schools in the country. So we are grateful that God has used us to transform the lives of these children academically. And we also have seen their lives transformed in the spiritual, because I remember last year we had like 3 children who were very hard to deal with, and even the parents had given up on them. Some of them were already into sexual life, and they were doing very funny things, but because we were teaching them the word of God, we showed them a lot of love. They were able to go through primary school, and now they're in high school, and we want to thank God for that.
Our pupils are disciplined, they speak in English, we have teachers who are professionals, so that one has really attracted more pupils from the community, and Victory is doing well.
Our goal is to produce children that when they come out of this place, they can face the world and be able to do something. People that are going to give the required leadership, because there's a vacuum in our society today. When you look at the dependency mentality, which is really, really hurting our communities, hurting our nation. So our desire is to be able to produce leaders in engineering, leaders in business, leaders in academics, leaders in all areas of our society, and that is our goal, that by the time they leave this place, wherever they go, they are going to make a difference and make the world a better place to live in.
Another thing about Victory Christian School is the fact that we have given an opportunity to the vulnerable and orphans in the community. We have about, at the moment, 70 who are not paying any penny to the school, but we are giving them free education. And this we do because we realize that there is a lot of child labor around us, and many of the children who are either total orphans, partial orphans, or they are just vulnerable. They go very early to dig for people to be able to get some money to buy their uniforms, to buy their school needs, or even to help their parents put food on the table. So we've been able to look around for these children, and then we bring them in and we help train them so that we don't have to lose great lives because there was nobody to care for them.
Lynn started this school at ECD level. Lynn, at this moment, she has been number one throughout in that class. She's now in class 5.
I really love Lynn. Actually, Lynn comes from a humble family, and the mother sells chips, and also the father helps the mother to sell chips since he doesn't have a job. So actually, Lynn is a very bright girl, but the parents are not capable. So we have really tried to nurture Lynn because she has some leadership talents in her, and she's very intelligent. I thank God for Lynn because I'm seeing a dream in her, only that the parents are not able to support. But actually at times we send her home for the fee, she comes back crying, there is nothing even to eat, and at times we have to maintain her for some time so that the parents can go looking for the school fees. Yeah, in fact, even when we closed, she closed with a debt of so much money. But she's a very good girl. She's having big dreams, and there are so many children like Lynn in Victory Christian School. And if they are supported, I believe they can perform well and change this whole community.
I love Victory Christian School because of teachers. They are tough teachers, but their toughness doesn't matter. We are just free. We can just ask them questions and they answer us. Especially during after the teacher has taught and did not understand, we must ask questions, and that is always a must. And if you've not asked and it comes to exam and you failed it, our teacher must punish you. In our class, our science teacher, Teacher Fred, always, I love that science. It is a very special subject to me. When I grow up, I would like to be a doctor in my life.
Rennie Logan is one of the boys that has really struggled with his life. Being that he comes from a poor family, he has been helping the parents in that way of beating stones so that they can survive and the mother can also pay the school fees. And apart from that is our index 1.
Back in the public schools, I was getting 300 marks over 500 and below. But when I came into Victory Christian School, in fact, in the zonal exams, I got 400, and I was the first one with 448 marks over 500. I also thank for the Almighty because He has always been in help for me. I also take this opportunity to thank our brother Jeremy for having provided us with books, and which we revise enough books. But back in the public schools, you can even get that we are sharing one book 5 people. Now this was a very great challenge to us. This made me to drop in even below average at times. But here I've seen a very great change. In life, when I finish university, I would like to be a surgeon.
One of the major challenges in the rural setting is a child labor, where because of poverty situation, parents would want these children to go and work in the farms, breaking stones and all kinds of hard labor, and that really makes the pupils not to concentrate.
And an example is one boy called Godwin. Godwin was digging for people at a very early age, going to people's farms just to get money to help the mother put food on the table, and even making ballast, because where he comes from there's a lot of stone. So Godwin was not able to go to school well. He could do all that just to help the mother and also to buy uniform, of which school he was missing a lot. So we picked Godwin, and Godwin's life has been changed.
By the time Godwin came to this school, Godwin did not know English nor Kiswahili. He could not express himself well because in public, pupils mostly they speak in their mother tongue. But I thank God for Victory Christian School. We have molded this boy. He is so much disciplined. He can express himself in English or Kiswahili well. By the time he came to this school, he was getting such like 200 marks out of 500, which was below average. But I thank God, since Godwin began to learn in Victory Christian School, he is getting over 300 marks out of 500. And we thank God for that progress.
When we took him to boarding school, now he's able to perform and get enough time for his studies. And we are seeing him now doing better.
My father passed on in the year 2004. He left me when I was still a young boy with my mother. Now, since my father had passed on, my mother was that kind of woman that could not provide us with the basics need. Now, due to this, one of our member of Church, Mrs.VIOLET, ODINDO, the director of Victory Christian School, helped us to overcome these challenges by building us a new home. He also promised to take me to a school called Victory Christian School, where I'm learning up to now. In Victory Christian School, when I entered in class 4, in first term, I was chosen as the most disciplined child, and in fact, I became the best soloist and singer. Even teachers who I got in Victory Christian School helped me to identify my talents. For example, when I was in public school, I did not know that I could sing. But since now I'm in Victory Christian School, I'm very appreciating the teachers and thanking our director also, for he has enabled me to identify my talents.
Pupils have different personalities. Like Godwin is doing so well in co-curriculum activities like games and sports, music and drama. And George is also dwelling so much on the academics. So he performs so well. That is his strength.
When I came to Victory Christian School, I saw a very big difference between Victory Christian School and the public school. First of all, our teachers were very concerned about our performance. While I was in the public school, I would even score below average, like 249 marks out of 500. But for me coming to Victory, I started improving in my academic performance, whereby even in the zonal exam I could score 420 over 500 marks. In Victory Christian School, we have a very favorable environment. We don't have any noise. We are in a settled place. And I am also one of the boarders. In the boarding section, we have a lot of cleanliness. Our food is very good. We eat properly and we enjoy the boarding section. I also want to thank our teachers because they have really worked on us. In Victory Christian School, you cannot miss seeing a teacher in class when it is lesson time. While there in the public, a teacher can consecutively miss lessons for even 3 days without coming to class. So there is a great improvement, and I can see that when I continue learning in Victory Christian School, I will reach my target, which is 438 marks in my Kenya Certificate of Primary Education.
I thank God so much for Victory Christian School. And for it to reach this far, it is for some people that have been standing with us. How I wish that we could get more. Victory would reach its destiny.
Thank you to those who have really stood with us in this journey of transforming lives in this part of the world. Because of your giving, this year our school actually performed excellently in this part of the county, and we had a student that really scored 403, and that was the leading in this entire part of the sub-county. And because of that, you're already changing lives, and your giving will have impact for years and years to come. You may ask a question like, okay, if I was only able to give $50, what will that do? I want to tell you, $50 will help feed a child in school for 2 months, and $100 will help pay the entire boarding for that child for a whole term, which is about 3.5 months. $1,000, what can that do? That will help put some of these poor kids into a high school for a whole year, taking care of their fees, taking care of their feeding, taking care of their uniform, and that will be something that will make a huge change and a huge difference in the life of a child. And what about $50,000? $50,000 will help us finish some of the classrooms that you see at my back. There are classrooms that are still not finished. $50,000 will help us to finish those classrooms and be able to help many kids that are out there that really want an education of excellence at Victory Christian School. When you become part of this, this is something that will go years, years and years, even when you're not there, changing lives in Africa, that will change many lives beyond Africa. God bless you.